Welcome back to a Clan a Day podcast. I'm your host, Colin MacDonald. Today, we're delving into the storied history of Clan Lindsay, a family whose roots stretch back to the Norman Conquest and whose legacy has been intricately woven into the fabric of Scottish history. The Lindsays are a Lowland clan originating from a Norman knight who crossed the Channel with William the Conqueror, eventually establishing themselves as one of the most powerful families in Scotland. The Lindsay story begins with Baldric de Lindesaya, a Norman who held lands in both England and Normandy. By the early 12th century, the family had migrated north to Scotland. Around 1120, Sir Walter Lindsay, a prominent figure of the family, became a member of the Council of Prince David, Earl of Huntingdon. David, who would later ascend the Scottish throne as King David the Found, played a crucial role in shaping the Scottish feudal system, and Sir Walter was right there at the heart of it. Walter's successor, William de Lindesay, expanded the family's influence by acquiring the lands of Crawford in Clydesdale, a region that would become central to the Lindsay legacy. One of the most significant figures in the early history of the clan was Sir David Lindsay of Crawford, who, through his marriage to Maria Abernethy, one of the heiresses of the Earldom of Angus, acquired the lands of Glenesk in Angus. This marriage not only solidified the Lindsay status, but also led to Sir David being created the Earl of Crawford in 1398, marking the beginning of a long line of powerful earls. The Earls of Crawford became one of the most influential families in Scotland, and their influence would be felt across the nation for centuries. The Lindsays were not just noble landowners, they were also fierce warriors. The fourth Earl of Crawford, Alexander Lindsay, was a man of formidable reputation. Known as Earl Beardy or the Tiger Earl, he was a key figure in the turbulent politics of 15th century Scotland. In 1452, he joined a rebellion against King James II, culminating in the Battle of Brechin. Unfortunately for Earl Beardy, the royal forces emerged victorious, and he was subsequently deprived of some of his lands. However, the Lindsays managed to retain much of their power and influence. The Lindsays were also known for their bitter feuds, particularly with the Ogilvies and the Alexanders. These feuds were typical of the turbulent relationships between noble families in medieval Scotland, where alliances and enmities could change the course of history. Despite these internal conflicts, the Lindsays remained staunch supporters of the Stuart monarchs. The sixth Earl of Crawford died at the Battle of Flodden in 1513, fighting bravely for King James IV. The 10th Earl continued this loyalty, supporting Mary, Queen of Scots, during her troubled reign. The Lindsays' unwavering loyalty extended into the 17th century when the 16th Earl of Crawford commanded a regiment for King Charles I during the Wars of the Three Kingdoms. His death marked the end of the senior line of the Crawford Earldom, and the title passed to a cadet branch, the Lindsays of Balcarres. This branch had already been elevated to the Earldom of Balcarres in 1651, further cementing the family's status among the Scottish nobility. In 1848, a pivotal moment in the history of the clan occurred when the House of Lords determined that the titles of Earl of Crawford and Earl of Lindsay rightfully belonged to James Lindsay, the 7th Earl of Balcarres. This decision effectively reunited the titles, linking the ancient lineage of the Crawford Lindsays with the Balcarres line, ensuring the continuation of the family's noble legacy. But the Lindsays were not just warriors and politicians, they also made significant contributions to Scottish culture. Sir David Lindsay of the Mount, a 16th century poet and reformer, was appointed Lion King of Arms under King James V. His works, particularly Une Satire of the Three Estates, are celebrated for their sharp social commentary and have left an enduring mark on Scottish literature. Another literary figure from the clan was Robert Lindsay of Pittscottie, known for his Chronicles of Scotland, which, despite being somewhat unreliable, provide a vivid account of Scottish history during his time. The Lindsays also played a crucial role in the religious and political spheres of Scotland. Throughout the centuries, they produced several notable bishops and scholars, contributing to the intellectual and spiritual life of the nation. Today, the Clan Lindsay Society continues to celebrate and preserve the rich heritage of this illustrious family. From their origins as Norman knights to their role as powerful Scottish earls, the Lindsays have left a legacy that is both complex and fascinating. Their story is one of loyalty, ambition, and resilience, characteristics that have defined this remarkable clan for over 9 centuries. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Clan Lindsay's history. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for another episode of A Clan a Day podcast. I'm Colin MacDonald, and as always, go in Irie and both are leet.